Let's get into the paper now and see what the reviews are. I have with me in the studio to make sense of all of the headlines we'll be looking at. Dr. Dayo Kayode is here, as well as Shijibumi Adebi Bennett. Gentlemen, good morning. Good to see you both.
Good morning. Happy Workers' Day.
Dr. Senator Mycoma.
You see now? So he's dashing me all the titles in the world.
Good morning. That was
good morning. It was nice. Good to see you. Yeah. Now let's begin with the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper says federal government vaccines fund runs into crisis. AstraZeneca scarcity hits India. Federal government vaccine fund runs into crisis. AstraZeneca scarcity hits India. Nigeria may go for a Pfizer, which costs $20 per dose. AstraZeneca, $4. WHO may review usage of expired COVID-19 vaccine for Nigeria and others. So it's a back and forth on that. Now that's the Punch newspaper. Let's go to the Nigerian pilot. Nigerian pilot says no absolute freedom. No absolute freedom. Buhari chides media, says freedom of press does not permit everything, and urges practitioners to wield freedom responsibly without licentiousness. Rather. All right, that's a Nigerian pilot. We certainly will be looking at that as we get along. Today is World Press Freedom Day, so we'll look at what the president is saying, the message he has, and how we are practicing medium in a free way. From there, let's go to the Nation newspaper. Nation says APC-PDP clash over worsening insecurity. APC-PDP clash over worsening insecurity. That's the Nation. Daily Sun is next. Beef up security in Southwest. Oni tells federal government. Says government's efforts not enough. Beef up security in Southwest. Oni tells the federal government. Okay, that's Daily Sun. From there, let's go to Daily Champion. Daily Champion says insecurity is focusing on insecurity here. Police kill 3 bank robbers. Arrest 5 suspects, recover 2 AK-47 rifles, 753 GPMG bullets in Ebonyi. All right, 1 officer feared dead as gunmen attack police station. The government murdered Kogi commissioner, abduct a local government chairman. Ebonyi commences 1 week fasting and prayer. And all of that riders on the Daily Champion. All right, from there, let's go to Daily Trust. Daily Trust newspaper says, alleged threats. Police deploy horses, motorcycles for intelligence gathering in the FCT. Police deploy horses, motorcycles for intelligence gathering in the FCT. All right, that's a Daily Trust there. From there, let's go to the Blueprint newspaper. Kaduna local government polls anxiety as APC disqualifies Algon chair, 37 others after test. Anxiety as APC disqualifies Algon chair. That's the Association of Local Government of Nigeria. 37 others after test. 75 of 115 passes aptitude. 2 disqualified over anti-party activities. All right, all that on the front page of the Blueprint newspaper. Business Day is next. Business Day says curious case of less viable states consuming more petrol. Curious case of less viable states consuming more petrol. All right, that was from the report that was issued out recently. That's Business Day. News Direct is next and is focusing on the minimum wage. Federal government threatens to sue errant state governments. On minimum wage, federal government threatens to sue errant state governors. All right, the report shows that so many or several states are still not up to date with the minimum wage, which has become law in Nigeria. All right. Now, from there, let's go to the Leadership newspaper. Scarcity of forex persists as CBN's Naira for dollar policy closes. Scarcity of forex persists as CBN's Naira for dollar policy closes. All that on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. Daily Times is next. Power firms for sale. Consumers to pay higher tariffs from July. Power firms for sale, consumers to pay higher tariffs from July. Okay, that's Daily Times. Daily Independent is next, and Daily Independent says banks MPLs escalate amid growth in gross loans to 20.448 trillion naira. That's all on the front page of the Daily Independent. Nigerian Tribune says Nigeria owes China $3.7 billion. That's DMO is saying this. Nigeria owes China $3.7 billion. Wow, that's a lot of money. Okay, that's the Nigerian Tribune. If time permits, we'll certainly be touching on this as well. From there, let's go to Business AM, which is the last one we're looking at. Banks face human capital crisis amid loss of 8,574 jobs in 2020. And experts say low capacity, incompetence could stifle industry's growth potentials. And contract staff most hit in layoffs accounts for 12.2%. All that on the front page of the Business AM. All right. Gentlemen, let's look at, let's start from, I'd like us to start from, we'll talk about security, but I'd like us to start from the Nigerian pilot that is talking about freedom of the press, because that we're celebrating or commemorating freedom of the press today, and the president had issued a statement congratulating Nigerian press and also urging Nigerians and the Nigerian press practitioners to practice journalism and the press with some level of responsibility and sensitivity. So let's look at this now. No absolute freedom. That's part of what's said here. And Buhari Child's media says freedom of press does not permit everything, and urges practitioners to wield freedom responsibly without licentiousness. Okay, Dr. Kayode, let me start with you on this one. No absolute freedom for the press. What do you make of this?
All I will say is to advise the fourth estate of governance that they should brace up, because the worst is yet to come.
The worst is yet to come.
Is yet to come.
Worst in what area now?
In terms of what we are seeing, you can remember what happened to one particular program in a particular television station, right? That's why I'm saying the worst is yet to come. I like going back to history, 1984. You remember when when the president of Nigeria was the head of state. Okay. Now, why am I asking the press to brace up? Evil strives where good men shut their mouth. They should continue doing it, because already there is what we call a gap in between the government and the governed. And then there is also what we call truth deficit. Let me give you an analysis on two of those things that you just read now. There is this vaccine. It costs $2. You cannot fund it. Abi, you now want to go for the one that costs $20. No, tell me.
Maybe because it's not available.
No maybe. Forget about maybe there. Nothing like maybe. Okay? So when you are looking at such scenarios and it is playing out in the community where you are bound to talk. But they are now saying no absolute freedom. He's also talking about another one that you have to say based on this and that. No, let the truth be told. And that's what I'm saying. The press, people, depends on them. They shouldn't allow themselves to be gagged. You remember what happened? I think early last year, when the Minister of Information, Lai Mohammed, was talking about hate speech, and they were trying to take it to the National Assembly for it to be approved and all that. And we're now asking, how do you determine hate speech? Who determines hate speech? Because they know there are a lot of things that are happening. Look at what happened during COVID-19 pandemic, when it was at its peak in Nigeria. And people were talking, look, in other countries they are giving them palliatives, but you are not giving us palliatives. They were saying, yeah. Before you know it, the thing went to the National Assembly. What happened? Before evening, the place they said those documents got burnt. Okay? So I'm saying, look, because there is a gap in truth between the government and the government. Look at the electricity tariff. Look at the electricity that they are talking about. It's not only in July. We have started paying it. I've been buying it with increments. I bought it 3 times now with increments. So what are you talking about?
It's okay.
So the price should blaze up because the worst is yet to come.
All right. Shijibumi, I wonder if you're seeing that worst that is yet to come, the way Dr. Dayo puts it. The point there is bracing up. Of course, there are challenges out there which the press is supposed, like he said, there are gaps when it comes to enlightenment and creating that media literacy that is supposed to be created. But when it comes to the issue of bracing up for the worst, I wonder what you see.
Nigeria is also exposed, and we have gone beyond a situation where we can be gagged. It's not, I don't see any government of the day can just try. But people have become so sophisticated, and the world has moved beyond gagging or harassing or intimidating press freedom. And like he said, it was expedient and imperative for the citizens to make sure that the hate speech laws were not legalized, because what every government have known in Nigerian does is to institutionalize illegality, so that if an ordinary man, there is no ordinary man, like my mentor would say, if the average man does something, it's a crime. But if people in government or elite do the same thing, there is a law that protects them. Like, let's talk about constituency allowances. Let's talk about security votes. So what you see government do in Nigeria is to make sure they give something that is seen or apparently illegal, give it a framework of law, and it becomes something that will protect the elite or the politicians. So, having said that, I don't believe anybody can gag the media, or any government can gag the media. What we're seeing is the implementation of lay down rules and laws to suit government. Like what he mentioned, the laws are there in the MBC code and all that. So government sometimes, and it's not, it doesn't, the monopoly is not on any government. All the governments in Nigeria have been using laws. The places that they see that it pays the masses, they don't focus on that. They just focus on where they seem to benefit more. So that's what we see. But we should be alive to our responsibilities. We should keep talking. We should keep putting government on its toes. That's the way we can make sure that this country gets better. And conclusively, I want to also say that the media also should try as much as possible to balance, not to help government, but to balance its reportage.
Very important.
Because it's very, very, in a situation of, in a society of despondency, pervasive despondency, there's no way any good thing can come out of that society. When you move on the streets now, everything is a picture of doom and gloom. You open the papers, the newspapers, you hardly can see any positive news about the country. It doesn't have to be about the government. I was discussing with one of my friends the other day, and he sent me so many Nigeria has become something position in the world terrorism. So I said, I don't focus on this news, please. I focus on positive news. He said, good job in your hunting for positive news. And immediately I doled out like 5. Kellogg's is a private company opened in Lekki. Another company opened somewhere. I just started giving all those statistics that what you focus on is what you get.
Yeah, because actually there are so many good things happening.
A lady looking for job in the southeast and was killed. You don't look at all those things. Where are those positive news? It's not about banditry. It's not about killing. It's not about nepotism.
So
it's not about securing appointment.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about?
So let me ask you.
It is those laws and the instrumentality of power that they have been using to guard the press. And to that extent, I'm still saying it, and I will maintain it, and I will be repeating it. Press should stand up to its responsibilities at this point in time.
When it comes to balancing, because from what Shibumi is saying, when it comes to balancing the fact that we are faced with the reality of insecurity, which is a challenge, we know. But besides that, there are also so many good things happening. So how do we balance all of those?
Okay, listen to this. That a supposed minister once supported Boko Haram openly, and this same minister is in charge of our data, and we are saying this person should resign, and he's not resigning. We should keep quiet and be talking about Kellogg's. That can happen.
Can we leave the brands out?
No, that can happen. We are now saying, okay, look, how many of such people do we have in this government? Because if we can have one, that means we can have 2, 3, 4. How many of them do we have? Then does that mean that is why we have been facing issue of banditry without being able to arrest them, without being able to prosecute them, and the one arrested, you want to give them bandits? I mean, you want to give them amnesty. So these are issues. Is that one now we leave it and then be talking? Where are the positive news? Go and look at the industries. They have been taken over by weeds, rats, and snakes. But whereby you even see all those snakes.
To be fair,
wallowing our money.
No, but to be fair, there are new companies and industries springing up.
Can you please mention them?
Of course, I will not mention. I will not mention the brands.
And to what extent has it assisted us in our employment?
I will not mention.
Look at tariff now. Tariff of this thing is going up every time. Petroleum, we are never can say where we are going, and you now see people. Sometimes ago, a friend of mine said, this government are turned us to I think everybody, people are working, but they cannot. Yes, they are working. People are working, okay. But it's not as if they are working. Take home cannot take them home again. Look at what happened. Look at what is happening to labor. Look at what is happening to workers. Even you, as you are, your money, the money you are being paid. To what extent can it take you? But these are issues. There are so many ways in which this government is taking away our packets. They will increase salary by 30%, but then introduce VAT, introduce this, introduce that, and we take 50%. I was on a platform on Saturday, and the man there was saying, look, in 1978, how much was he earning? And they were having so much. He said comparatively today, what he was earning in 1978 was far greater than what he's earning now. Because when you look at the disposability of the income, so what are you talking about? Where's the good news? Whereby you see marriages falling apart because of economic wars. Whereby you see small children with arms and ammunition to come and support, to come and be talks to all these politicians.
But Dr. Kayode, the point that is just seeing it from a perspective, which we agree that these are some of the realities. But we also know that good things are happening.
But the issue is the good things are too infinitesimal to the bad things. That's what we are talking about.
All right.
When you have 2 good things. You have 50 bad things, and can you compare that?
All right.
Can we compare that?
We'll get there somehow. Shinjibumi, the point there is...
We only get that when we continue to say the truth.
Yeah, of course, we'll keep saying the truth. Now, the point is, when it comes to the issue of press freedom, what are the ingredients? What are those... I was asking earlier, what are the indicators we should see to know that the press is free?
Yes, I think it's very, very clear. Freedom it has a basic definition. I am allowed to air my views in accordance to lay down rules and procedures without either people hearing, public or government, either they like the truth or they don't. The truth will always be the truth. And like I said, last week we still complained about the security situation in the country, and I said something about the president not being alive to his responsibilities, that it's as if we don't even have a president, as of last week. So what we're saying is not, when we mean balanced reportage, it's not about we should overlook the ills of the society. If you can remember Winston Churchill, that was his gimmick. He was losing a war, but he kept assuring and encouraging the citizens of England. The enemy thought maybe he was saying something.
There was something else.
And he was able to turn it around. And if you go to, and for me, the spiritual controls the physical. Is your confession, what you confess sometimes, you focus on, you get. So for me, when you make despondency pervasive, believe you me, there is no way you will get anything positive. So let's complain and constructively, criticize the government so that we can put them on their toes, so that we can also get positive results from them. But at the same time, we're not pandering to the government's what's it called now, premises or arguments. We're just trying to make sure that our people, because governments come and they go, the people remain. The sanity of our people should be of utmost importance to us. The Senate climb we talk about, like the US, for example, so many bad things happen, but they make sure they try to make America a country that is like everything is just interesting and sweet. Just last week or 2 weeks ago, they killed so many people, and we had so many issues going on. So what we're saying is, the media, in as much as we know that we want to congratulate the media in Nigeria for a good job, well done, but at the same time, please, we should just increase the hope of our people so that we can look forward to a better Nigeria.
All right.
Sorry, Churchill's tactic worked because there was trust between Churchill himself and the people. There was trust, but here, there is no trust. There have been series of lies over the years, lies upon lies.
Okay. We look forward to how that can change, and I agree with you to the extent where you said the press should live up to its responsibility, and we will keep holding the torch and the flag up there, because freedom of the press is a reflection of how democratic our government is. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Kayode, for coming on the program.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. And Shijibumi Adebi Bennett, thank you very much for coming.
It's always a pleasure.
I really appreciate it.